Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Disu and you're watching Data Science with Disu. So this video is regarding the assignment solution that I have given. So this is the second assignment that I have given, and I usually give this assignment on WhatsApp community. So that is why I always say that you should join that WhatsApp community. So I am always active there. I regularly do quizzes, and whenever you have any doubt you can just ask and I will clarify that as soon as possible. So the first assignment was on fundamentals of Python. Now this is the second assignment that we are giving, and this is basically focused on Numpy and Pandas library. So basically I am giving an assignment on Python for data science. So in perspective of data science, like Numpy and Pandas library are very important. So that is why I have given that assignment. So this is just a basic assignment that I have given. So it covers whatever I have just taught in the sessions, like in the Numpy and Pandas sessions. So if you haven't watched that sessions, kindly check that session in the playlist. And before starting this session, make sure you hit the like button so that it can reach out to the more people like you, so that more people can easily learn data science and they can adopt this domain. Now you might be noticing something change in my look. Oh, that is actually here. So just kindly ignore that and let's start today's session. Cool. So let's begin with the first question. I have just categorized into two parts, NumPy and Pandas. So we'll be first starting with the NumPy library. So first question is the create a NumPy array of zeros with say 3, 4. So this is the basic question that I have given. So the first question is create a NumPy array of zeros. That means all the elements should be 0 with a shape of 3, 4. That means number of rows will be 3 and the number of columns will be 4. So basically you have to create a two-dimensional array and all the elements of that array should be zeros. So how you can do that? If you have it in the session, so you know that you can easily do that. So first of all, before creating an array, you need a NumPy library. So you have to import a NumPy library. Now there is something change that Google Colab have done. Like before, if you have seen my video, so if I add a code section, there is no section of suggesting this kind of thing, start coding or generate with AI. So this is a new feature that Google Colab has come. So I might be noticing this changes a few days later, but yeah, this changes has been done. So what you can do, you can just start coding as usual as you have done before, but there is an option to generate with AI. So AI has been integrated with that. So what you can do, like if I click on generate, you can see what is happening, that there is a prompt that is coming. So you can just give any type of prompt that you want. Like let's say that the question itself, like you want to create an NumPy array of shape 3, 4. So that is a kind of cheating that will be happening. If I am giving that assignment, you can easily use that prompt and you can just give that and it will give the answer. But what I want is not to try this AI tools, because first of all you need to understand the basic things. So to understand the basic concepts, you need to learn how to apply those things. So if you are not like all of these questions are basics, so if you are not able to solve this question by yourself, there is no meaning of learning AI. So AI is what? AI is enhancing your capability. So if you don't know basics, you will be not able to use AI. So first of all you need to learn the basics, then you can use the AI. Like there might be a situation that there is a complex code that you want to write, so and you know all the basic things. So in those cases what will happen, to reduce your time of task done, like you can use the AI to create the codes. So chat GPT is one of the another option you have. So you can use those tools to create your code, but whatever the code that has been generated, that is not actually in real life scenario, that is not actually the thing that you can directly copy and paste and apply, because here are basic questions. So yeah, obviously the answer will be correct. But when you are having when you are working in a company, or when you are solving some real life problem, in those scenario you will be not getting the same code that you want. So it might be that the concept that you want, actually the logic you want, it will give to you, but you need to understand that code. If you don't understand that code, you will be not able to use that code and make changes so that you can use for your purposes. So that is why you need to learn the basics, so that whatever the code that has been generated from AI, you can understand that code, and then according to your requirements, according to your purpose, you can just change those code and use for yourself. So that is the real use case of AI. Cool. So I'm not going to use that AI tool. So first of all, let's say I'm deleting that thing. I will actually show you how it is working, but before that, let's say we will try to solve that question first of all by ourselves. So create a numpy array of zeros with shape comma 4. So first of all, what you have to do, import numpy library. So import numpy as np. That is the simple thing that you do for importing numpy library. Now after importing the numpy library, what you have to do, you have to give the name of that array that you want to create. So let's say since it is a zero array, I will like elements of all that array is zero, so I will just give the name of array equals to, like zero array. And then what you have to do, you have to use that numpy library np dot zeros. So this will create all the elements of that array will be zeros. Then you have to pass the shape of that array simply, but you need to make sure that you give another round bracket, and inside that you give the shape of that array. So that is the because that is if you don't give that another round bracket, what will be happening, you will be giving two arguments, but here I am giving only a single argument, that is the shape. So that is why I have given the round bracket out of that. So if I just run that, that zero array has been defined. So what you can do, you can just print that array. Let's say I want to just print, so simply you can do zero array, and you can see how it has been created. So see, 3 rows 1 2 3 and 4 columns 1 2 3 4. So that is how you can create a numpy array of all the elements being 0, and the shape of that array will be 3 comma 4. Now I'll be showing you that how you can do the same thing with the use of generative AI. So you can just click on that generate, and you can just copy paste that same question here. Okay, and here is an option like using. So if you have any data set and you want to do some analysis or like data visualization or that kind of thing, and you don't know what is the code of that thing, but you know the basics, in that scenario you can just click on using, and there will be option, then whatever the data set that you have imported earlier, there will be option coming here, because I have not imported any data set here. So till now you can see using data frame, but it is coming that option, there is no any data frame that you have imported. If you have imported, there will be option coming, and you can just click the data set and then create that. So if I just run the same thing like without using any data frame, you can see the same syntax is coming here, like zero array equals to, like the name is also same, you can see np dot zeros, like round bracket, and inside that round bracket you are having 3 comma 4. So this is how you can just create a numpy array of that shape. Cool. So next we are moving towards the second question, that is generate an array of 20 random numbers having each as integer and ranges between 1 to 10. That means you have to create a array of 20 random numbers having each number as an integer. So it should be integer, and the number should always between 1 to 10, and then again you have to reshape that array into 4 comma 5. So initially we are not having any constant of like having what is the shape of that array. So initially, since you are having generate an array of 20 numbers, 20 random numbers, so that means you are like we have to create a 1D array. So let us see how we can do that. Let's say we are solving the second question. So first of all, let's say you want to create the array. So what is the name that we can give? Like integer array, let's say give integer array. Okay, equals to np dot, since you have to create, first of all the element should be random, so you have to give np dot random. Then again there is a constant that you have to have the elements as an integer, so you can give rand int. Okay, and then after round braces, what you have to pass, first of all the elements that should be the starting element. So since it is between like 1 to 10 na? So 1 to 10, so that means you have to give 1 comma 11, because that last element will be excluded. And how many elements you have, like 20 numbers. So since the shape will be what, like 1D array, so you can just simply pass 20. So that is how you can create an 1D array of 20 random numbers. And if I just print that, you can just see this is an 1D array of random elements. All the elements will be between 1 to 10, and there are total 20 elements. Now what you have to do, you have to reshape that array into 4 comma 5. So you can just use dot reshape method to reshape that array, and it can be easily reshaped because the multiplication of 4 comma 5 is 20, and again you have 20 elements, so that criteria is also satisfied. So that is why what you can do, you can just name the reshaped array, and you can just give that integer array here and dot reshape, and then you have to pass the shape of that element. So shape will be 4 comma 5. So that is how you can just reshape your array. And if I just print that, you can see that it has been reshaped into 4 comma 5. So 4 rows 5 columns, and the elements will be same. You can see it will start from here 2 8 5 4 3. So you can see 2 8 4 5 3, then again from here 2 8 4 7 8, 2 8 4 7 9, and this is how all the elements will be covered here. So that is how you can just reshape that array that you have just created. So the second question is also solved. Now moving towards the third question, that is create a 5 comma 5 identity matrix and extract the diagonal elements into a 1D array. So let's try and solve that. So how you can create, first of all I have to give the like name of that array. So I will give name of that array as let's say, since it is an identity matrix, I'll give identity array equals to np dot. So if you remember the keyword identity, that is the method that we can use to create an identity matrix. Then we have to pass the shape of that identity matrix, and generally the shape of any identity matrix is what it is, like a square matrix. So the row and columns will be same, so you can just pass a single value like 5. So it will understand that you have to create a identity matrix of 5 comma 5. So since what was the shape that we have, yes, 5 comma 5, fine. So we have created the identity matrix, and you can just print and look at it how it has been created. So you can see identity matrix means what, all the elements will be zeros except the diagonal elements. So 1 1 1 1 is the diagonal elements, and it will be actually unit, and all the elements will be 0. Now what is the next part that has been asked? Extract the diagonal elements into a 1D array. So whatever the diagonal elements that you can see here, that part you have to extract and create a 1D array. So that means the 1D array that you will be creating, what will be that? That will be a simple one dimensional array of all the elements 1. So that means of 5 elements 1 1 1 1 1 1. So how you can do that? If you apply the basic understanding of whatever you have learned till now, if you want to extract the diagonal elements, how what you can do? You can just apply a for loop, and you can iterate through each of the rows, and when the number of number of rows and number of columns are matching, like the first row first column, that means the diagonal element first, second row second column, that means this element. So in that case what you will do, you will just extract that element. So this is how you can do. So that will be actually what, that will be a longer process that you will be applying, but that is a basic thing. So that is the basic understanding how you can extract the element. But there is an option that has been given, like NumPy library has a property through which you can directly extract the diagonal elements. How you can do that? You can just give the let's say diagonal array, I have given the name, and what you can do, just you can just take that initial array that you have, and then you can apply dot diagonal. So if I just do that, what will be happening? If I just print that diagonal array, you can see all the diagonal elements has been extracted. So how it is done? So this is just a attribute that you are using, dot diagonal, but at the back end in the array class, that dot diagonal attribute has been written in the way that it will extract the diagonal elements using that for loop that I have just given you example. So that is how at the back end that basic thing is running, but at the front end what you're just using dot diagonal, and all the elements has been extracted here. So that is why I say that you need to have understanding of the basics thing. So if someone asked you in any interview question that don't use dot diagonal and extract the elements out of it, not just the diagonal elements. So if someone asked you not just extract the diagonal elements but extract some random elements out of that, so how you can do that? Then you need to use that basic logic, so using for and while loop. Cool. So we have solved all the three questions from the NumPy task. Now we are moving towards the pandas task. So first of all, the first question in the pandas is what? Read the data set into a data pandas data frame and then display the first 5 rows of the data frame. So first of all, how you can read that data set? So first of all, you need to import that data set here. How you can import that? So if you know, so I have already told you, let me first add and save. Then uh, you have to import the, first of all, import pandas library, because that is required to read the data frame. Next we are going to import the drive. So for you, I have given the link of that dataset. You can just click that. So this file is actually present in my drive, but I have given the access so that you can also view and download there. So you can just click that here, and after clicking whatever the file that has been present there, you can just download that file and save that file into your drive, or you can just create a copy of that and you can just save anywhere in your drive so that you can import it here. So first of all, let's say how you can import a drive. So you can just click here, mount drive. So it will just create the it will just ask for the permission, and if you want to import the drive through that code that I have given in the previous sessions, you can just click on no thanks. It will just create a code so that you can in future whenever you want to import the drive, you can just run that. So if I just run that, you can see again the same thing, it will ask for the permission. If I just click on connect to drive, it will ask the permission and then continue, again continue. Cool. So our drive has been imported here. So you can see mounted at content drive. So now we can import our dataset from this drive. So let's say the dataset name is, let's say, car dataset I have given. Okay, not car dataset, let's make it simpler, car df, cars df, let's say. Okay, equals to pd dot read underscore csv. So that is the syntax to import any csv file here and convert that into pandas data frame. So here I have to give the path of that file. So how you can know the path of your file? You can just click and you can expand your drive and you can just locate your data set wherever it is. So in data, I have the car data set. So let me look where it is. So you can see here car data. So I will just click here and copy the path. After copying that, you can just give it here, cross, you can just paste it here and run that. So now you have the cars df. If you just want to look at it, so the same question that we have. So first question was read the data set to pandas data frame and then display the first 5 rows of the data frame. So how you can do that? You can just write that same cast df and then dot head. So it will just fetch the first 5 data set you have, first 5 rows. So you can see these are the column name that you have. Okay, so I was expecting more columns here. I think I have imported the wrong data set. Let me check again if there is another car price product. Yes, I think this one is the data set that I wanted to import. So if I just replace this path of data set and if I just rerun that, so that data set will be overwritten. And now if I just check the first, yes, that is the dataset that I wanted. It has more columns, like starting from car id, then car name, fuel type, all of these things. So this is the dataset that I wanted to import. Now this is the first question that we have completed. The second question is slice the data frame to create a new data frame containing only the columns car name, fuel type, car body and price, and then display the first 10 rows of new data frame. So you have to just, what you can do, you can just filter out the columns. So how you can do that? Just copy that columns. Let me just paste it here so that it will be not written. Yes. So first of all, you have to give the name of that dataset that you want to create, like new data frame. So let's say I'm giving the data frame, new data frame name as card underscore detail df equals to, you have to take the original data set. So this is the original data frame we have, and then square bracket, and then you have to give again a square bracket, and inside that you have to just give the column name. So you can just copy paste here, and make sure that you are not giving any end here. So this is the column that I wanted. So if I just run that, you can see this has been generated, and I have to display the first 10 rows. So I will give dot head, and inside that I have to pass 10, so that it will just show 10 rows to you. If you don't give 10, it will show only 5 rows. So you can say the new dataset we have car detail df, it is having only 4 columns that you have mentioned: car name, fuel type, car body, and price, and it is showing the first 10 rows. So this is the second question that we have solved. Now the third is the filter the data frame to include only cars with fuel fuel type as gas, and display the first 20 rows filter data frame. So how you can do that? So let's say the name of that data set will be what, let me just introduce a line, and then for new data frame we are going to create another new data frame, and the name should be what, since we are filtering fuel type is equals to gas, we will say it is as gas cars or gasoline cars, whatever you want. Let's say I'm giving gasoline car df equals to, what you have to do, you have to take the original cars df that we have, okay, and you have to paste it here, then square bracket, and inside that again you have to give the cars df. So you have to just again give that car df inside that, again a square bracket, and inside that whatever the column on which you are filtering out. So which is the column that you are filtering out? Fuel type. So you can see it here, fuel type coming as an option here also, and then equals you have to give gas. So this is the syntax for filtering out only cars having fuel type as gas. So this is how you can just filter out, and you have to just look at the first 20 rows that has been asked by mistake. Okay, so you can see now you have having 20 rows, first 20 rows here, and if you go to the fuel type column, you can see all the columns will be having the same value as gas. So there may be any other values also, like fuel type may be gas, or you maybe have electric cars also, you may be having petrol, diesel. So all of these things are present here, but we are having only the column here, all the rows having the fuel type as gas. So this was the third question that we have solved. Now moving towards the fourth question, that is slice the data frame to include only cars with car length greater than 180 and fuel type as diesel. Okay, and then display the first 5 rows of the slice data frame. So what is the difference between third and fourth question? That in the third question you are having a single condition that you are applying, but here you are applying two conditions. So that is one of the example of having multiple condition applied on the column and filtering out the data. So let's try that out. So first of all we are going to let me just copy and paste the question here, so that it will be not confusing, because again and again I have to refer to the first part of that question. So let me just paste it here. Okay, inside the text column you can just paste, and you can just remove that intermediate task, that is the label that I had given. So let's say the name, so I was just giving a simple name, filtered car df, filtered, let's say filtered car underscore df equals to let's say car length greater than 180. So I'll say, just simple say long and diesel car. So I will say diesel, long diesel car df. So there is a fair name that I am giving here. And how you can just fetch that, so you have to give again the cars df, the original name of that data frame, inside which you will be filtering out, and then cast df again, round bracket again, inside that you have to again give the cast df, again a square bracket, sorry, and then you have to take the car length. So car length column is where you can just select it here, or you can just write it by yourself, car length greater than 180. So greater than, not equals to, so just greater than 180. Okay, this is one condition. And then you have to give the and sign here, ampersand and then you have to give the another condition. So I will just copy paste here so that I can just change that, and instead of car length here, fuel type, and what will be the equation, equals it will be diesel. Cool. And one thing you have to remember always, that after giving the condition you need to have a round bracket inside each condition. So for this condition also and for this condition also you are having a round bracket, otherwise it will give an error. So this is how you can create the long digital car df. And if I just print the head, so since we are required to have the 5 top data, so this is the data set we have. So you can check out like the car length will be always greater than 180. So where it is, so I think it has been truncated here in between, but you can check it out. But fuel type you can see that diesel is coming here. So yeah, you can just check out that column here by just selecting that column, and you can see that the car length will be always greater than 180. Cool. So fourth question also done. Let's move to the fifth question we have. So where is the fifth question? Fifth question is count the, let me just copy paste here. So this is the fifth question we have, count the number of cars for each fuel type, display the results. So that means what, for every fuel type, let's say we have fuel type like diesel you have seen, gas you have seen, there might be petrol and something else, electric also. So you have to take the, you have to give the count of each cars of that fuel type. So how you can do that, let me add new line so that it will be separated. Now I have to write a code that I will be having the value count. So you can just use that thing now, cars df is the original df that you have, and then you have to take the fuel type column. Okay, and then you can just apply value underscore counts, which will give the count of each fuel type, like gas and diesel. This is the only two type of fuel that you have. So that is why you can see gas 185, that count is 185, and diesel is having 20. So these are the only two values that you have. You can also apply the group by, and you can just fetch the count of that column, but for just having the count, this is the simplest method that you can use. Let's move towards the sixth question that we have. Create a new column, car type, which represent the size of the car based on the car length. Okay, and I've also given a hint for that. So hint actually, or and the like a constant also I have given. So use the concept of dot apply method to create a function, and the function will be what, if car length is below 150, consider it as a short length car. If between 150 to 170, consider it as mid length cars, and else if it is greater than 170, consider it as long length cars. And you have to just apply this function to the data frame to create the column car type. So this is the column name that you have to give. So first of all, to apply that function, you need to create that function. First of all, we will be going to create that function, and after creating that function, we will be using dot apply method to apply that functions to each of the rows, and we will be creating a column that is called car type. So how we can do that, let's understand it. So let us first copy and paste that question at the below, so that we will be not needing to refer again and again. Okay, let me just print. Yeah, so this is it. So first of all, we need to create a function. So def keyword and the function. So what will be the function name? So let's say I'm giving a name length, and let's say categorization. okay. And then you have to pass the that column value. So let's say that column value is length, and then you have to just categorize based on the if else condition. So if that length is let's say less than equal to 150, so we will be categorizing that into we will be giving a return statement. So what will be that? Short length cars. Cool. And then we'll have to give an elif condition also. Elif length is less than equal to 170. In those cases we will be having return mid length cars. Cool. So this third sorry, there will be no column. So in second condition, elif condition, you can see that this condition is length less than equal to 170, but you have covered up that first condition already. So in elif it is actually what? It is between 150 to 170, not just less than equal to 170. So this is between 150 and 170. This is less than 150 and equals to 150. Now the third condition is what? Greater than 170. So you need not to give again the condition, you have to just give the else condition and return let's say long length cars. Cool. So this is the function that you have created. Let me run that. So this is the function that we have defined, and inside the cars df let's say you have to define the column name as car type. So car underscore type is the column name that you are giving. Cool. Equals to again that cars df, and on which column you have to apply that? You have to apply on the car length, and then you have to give dot apply method, and what you have to apply? That function length categorization. So if I just run that after pasting, so this is how that column has been created. If I just see dot head, it will display the first 5 rows, and at the last you can see there is a categorization car type, mid length cars, long length cars, and if there will be any car less than length of 150, it will be short length cars. So that is how you can do categorization of cars. So this was the 6th question that we have. Next what we are going to, the 7th question is remove the column symboling from the data frame which should be in place operation and display the first 5 rows of the data frame. So you have to just remove one row. So how you can remove one row? Sorry, not row, one column. So you can just use drop. So cars df dot drop, okay, and columns equals to, since it is a single column, you'll be just giving no need of a square bracket, just a single column. X is equals to 1 you need to give, and then in place operation. So it should be in place operation, so that the original data set will be reflected. Like if I just print that cast df again here dot head, you can see there will be no column symboling here. You can see after car name fuel type, but here first of all after car id there was symboling, then car name, but here after car id there is car name, so that column has been deleted. So 26 column here, and you had 27 columns earlier. So that was the 7th question that you have. The last question is group the group by the car body and calculate the mean price for each group. So you have to apply the group by function here. So let's say what you have to do, cars df dot group by, cool, group by, and then you have to give a keyword by equals to, on which column you have to apply that group by. I just forgot, let me see, car body, okay, car body, and then you have to calculate the mean price. So you have to give car body, cool, and you have to just give the square bracket inside which you will be passing the column on which you have to pass find the aggregate value. So I have to pass price, and what I have to find out, mean of that price. Cool. So that is how you can find out the mean of that price, and you can just apply dot reset index after last dot reset index, so that index will be reset. Okay, so this is how you can find out car body, and this is the average price, so mean price. And you can also rename that price column. Since it is a average price, you can just give rename, and then columns equals to, you can just pass a dictionary and price, and then value mean price or average price, whatever you want. So this is how you can just change the name of that column. So you can see now, for each car body type, let's say it's a convertible car or hard top or hatchback, sedan, wagon, for each car body we are having mean price of that car. So this is actually in dollars, not in rupees. Okay, but don't consider it as a actual price, because our data set may be old or maybe manipulated. So that is it. We have solved the Numpy and Pandas task. So that was the task that I had given. Some of the student also tried. I have given the one-to-one feedback to them also. So that is why I say join the WhatsApp community, solve the assignment. I will give the one-to-one feedback also, and you can just book one-to-one mentorship also. I'll be happy to give the one-to-one mentorship, and all these things are for free. So that is why I say you always like this video, please, so that it will be a supported kind of thing for me, so that I can upload the contents regularly. So I hope you have liked that video. So that is it from this session. We'll be meeting in the next session. Till then, take care. Goodbye.